Okay. It's been a minute since I've been doing this, so I apologize, guys, but I literally just finished an exam at 11 o'clock a.m. my time. Handed it in, submitted it, finished, went to sit back down on my computer. It's like, alright. Exams are all done. All done and dusted. I can get some sleep. Didn't sleep the night before. Up studying, of course, because cramming's, of course, the perfect way to study. I think I'll get ready for bed. And bam! Brand new news. The Dark Road Twitter account has been, for the first time, just absolutely losing its mind. Just out of nowhere, blasting us with a bunch of new information. And apparently it's not all we're going to get. Apparently we're going to be getting a bit more. But let's start at the start. So they're like, "I've kept you waiting. From now on until release, we'll have back-to-back reveals, so stay tuned. Begin by first introducing the characters who take part in the story of Dark Road. Let's see two familiar faces first of all. So Xehanort and Ericus. Interestingly, on the Union Cross background there, with the Union Cross Dark Road logo. Interesting. But yeah, obviously the Kingdom Hearts 3 render versus the Dark Road renders from both of the guys here. So we've seen both of these guys. Sorry, I'm like, ooh. It's been a big couple days. But yeah, I just finished exams, so I can actually get back to making content. I was saying to my friends, like, I can't wait till exams are over so I can start making content again. And then the second I finished, it's like literally perfect timing. If it came out any earlier, I would have been bummed because I was like, I should be studying, not paying attention to this. But so we got a first look at a little cutscene. So I can only imagine maybe Xehanort's been kind of like waxing poetic, kind of evilly. I don't know. They keep advertising it as Union Cross Dark Road now. They sort of like hadn't really used that moniker much before. Only a couple times. Well, maybe not. Alright, gone ahead and done that. Alright, sorry. Then, in some bizarre marketing strategy, you had to ping them with KHDR new characters on this particular tweet, and then they would respond to you. But hidden away in that is this little tweet right here, saying the next update will be on the 10th of June, which, I mean, for me right now it's the 9th, so I don't know if that means in 24 hours or in 48 hours, but the point is we're going to be getting some new info again pretty soon. But what they did reveal today was the 4 new characters, so I've already gone ahead and picked up all 4 images. We have Urd, Hermod, I don't know how we're going to, again, like, whatever pronunciation I give it, they guaranteed will be wrong, and they'll have an alternate version of it pretty soon. Bragi, I don't know, and Vor. So I've gone ahead and quickly knocked up a version of them all together there. Yeah, and that's our reveal. That's our... I'm trying to think, was the original tweet on this post as well, from way back when? Way back when. I should be looking out of there, should be looking down on the main page, but the main one where they tweeted out the 4 characters, or was that... Yeah, I think only Union Cross tweeted that out for whatever reason, as like the announcement for Dark Road, with the black and white image with all the 4 characters on it. This brick, sorry, yeah, I was about to, and then then stuff happened, I guess. Sorry, the chat's not popping up in the actual window here for some reason. But you're visible. No, you're not. No, you are. Yeah, no, you're not showing up in that. God, oh well. I'll figure I'll just raid chat out then. Twitch chat? No. But yeah, sorry guys, how you doing? It's been a minute since I've been streaming, so thank you guys for being here. Man. Yeah, it's seemingly out of nowhere. Alright, so, with our 4 new names, so Vor, Bragi, Hermod, Urd, a quick Google search will reveal that they are, of course, all the names of Norse gods, which is really interesting because we'll get to it in a second, but okay. So this one bears the name meaning fate, I guess. which is the young girl that looks, to me, looks kind of like Ava, but we can talk about that in a second. Like the war, or the war spirit. So yeah, son of Odin, brother of Baldur. Which is really interesting. Yeah, an aware, careful, sort of like a more cautious one. God of poetry. I didn't know that. There you go. For Brad Guy. And the reason I've got another name up here is Skald, because Skald is actually the name of a Norse god as well. So she's actually part of a trio. So is it? That one has it. Yeah, Verandi. I'm not quite sure how you say it, but yeah. So Urd and Skald, I guess, are actually part of a trio. Let's Google that one. I must be honest. My knowledge of Norse gods pretty much starts and ends with the new God of War game. So, Michelle Obama. Okay. Norse god. There you go. Let's get the Wikipedia page up. Let's look up the Norn. So let's look up the trio that she's a part of. Yeah, Kuragani. I'm positive. I'm positive it is. So what have we got so far? We got the foretellers named after the Latin names of 7 deadly sins. And now we're dipping into Norse mythology for gods. So we really are jumping all over the place, aren't we? So the new characters in mythology, the new characters, look at the names from. Well, this is the question, isn't it? Like, have we seen basically all the new characters, or are there going to be some other ones that like play less important roles? Probably not. Are Xehanort and Ericus going to be given their like training names? Because I've wondered about this as well. There's no way that like, to me it was the Master of Masters that gave like Ava, Ira, Ased, Gula, and Envy their foreteller names. They had original names, but when the Master of Masters like crowned them as, okay, you are foretellers. Here's your Keyblade and your new name. And that like to fit a theme. I mean, like obviously we're playing a game in which characters' names are, you know, Terra, Ven, and Aqua. Obviously, you know, Sora, Rikukari. Obviously there are like links there, but to me, I always felt that like maybe that Ava, etc. wasn't their original name, so perhaps this is the same way. And in which case, maybe like, probably not, but like Ericus and Xehanort may have names like that as well, like Norse god inspired names. People are saying that, but we haven't really got a good look at our buddy, not Break here. Like, for all we know, it could be, like, that V could then peter out and become an X. We don't know. But it's a good observation for sure. Like, there's even, like, the little belt loops here on the bottom of him down there, so we can't really say for sure until we get a good look at him. I'm really, really, really hoping, because, like, all we have so far is, like, these butchered Twitter compressed screenshots. It's Elias, absolutely. We can't say for sure until we get her out of the way and have a good look at her. But like, I can't get over how young she looks. It's like, that's a little baby right there. Like, I'm sure Chirithi's gonna be taller than her. And she's one of they're calling him friends. I think Darkroad's calling him like, oh, they're best buddies. The Twitter account. Back-to-back reveals, so stay tuned. From now until release. Back-to-back reveals. So release has got to be pretty soon, right? Unless they're going to spoil, like, the entire game. Alright, so we've seen, like, introduction to characters. Gameplay reveals, probably. They have to expound on the gameplay pretty soon, I'm sure. So people actually know what they're getting into and kind of, like, the setting. I'm sure there'll be, like, not just story spoilers, if you will. Yeah, can you imagine? But at the same time, this tweet is talking about, like, tweet from now until June the 30th to get your, like, friend in Dark Road or whatever the hell they were talking about. Can you guys hear me right? Sorry, I'm a little bit further back from the mic. Oh, this came at the perfect time. I literally just finished my exam, submitted it, and it was like, damn, here it is. Brand new info. Just like, yes, perfection. I'll never understand these marketing strategies. I really don't. Okay. I may have messaged Glacier already and been like, any chance of getting that artwork uncompressed? But we'll see. See if she responds. Okay. The Norns are female beings who rule the destiny of gods and men. They roughly correspond to other controllers of humans' destinies, such as the Fates, elsewhere in European mythology. Right, so that's, like, you know, I know the Fates from, what, the original God of War games, and then, I think, do we fight these guys in the new one? Because they're not linked to the Valkyries, are they? I can't remember. But anyway, yes, so Skald and one of the new female ones is part of this trio. So I wonder if that means that we will see the third at some point. It's kind of un-Nomura-ish to leave out two-thirds, to have two-thirds of a trio and then not the third part. Literally, the present participle, never heard that name before, of the Old Norse for Varroa. Can we get a text-to-speech going on for that? God of War X Kingdom Hearts incoming, exactly. They should, right? They should have like Kratos medals and the Hydra medals and all that. It's one of the Norns, along with Uror, or the Old Norse for Fate, and Skald, possibly Debt or Future. Fate, present and future, maybe? Like, knowing Nomura, he's already come up with a trio for them. Do you reckon that, like, this person will be a villain, maybe? This Verandi character? Verdandi? I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that character there. Like, it resembles a D, but I don't know if it's, like... I actually know how to pronounce it. Get Google Translate to pronounce it for me. Sapphirex Exodus. It's not dead. It's alive and well, actually. Let's see if we can actually play. I haven't logged in on the emulator in a while. But it's kind of in a dead zone right now, if I'm honest. Like, so the main campaign of the story updates once every month, but this May's update has actually been delayed for 2 weeks into June, and they haven't actually said if we're going to get June's or not. So I think everything's been pushed back because of COVID, which is understandable. You'd have to assume, right? The Kira. Yeah, well, I mean, are they going to keep mucking around with, like, future nonsense? Or, like, now I'm really wondering what the foretellers have to do with being brought into the future. Like, yeah. Like, if these guys are the Fates and responsible for, like, maintaining order. Yeah, right. That's where I remember them from. I remember, like, if they are, like, analogous with the Fates, who have those, like, threads of time to control everything, but they're, like, the Norse version of them. Oh, man. I think Braga will get taken over by Lushu. I was just wondering that as well, of, like, did he... I made a joke earlier, I was like, did he keep the name for simplicity's sake? And he's like, I'll take over that Braid guy next, and then I won't have to, like... I can just keep calling myself Zigvar every time. Yeah, I know. All eyes on Skald right now, hey. Skald was taken by someone with an eye patch. And we don't know where she was taken to. And so far, the only clue we've had is that someone with an eye patch took her. And all that's really meant to us is that, like, it's like, okay, Lushu or Break probably is the one that took her. Because he's the only character we've seen so far with an eye patch, not including Diz. And that wasn't even like a real orange eye patch anyway. Sorry, I just read the comments and my brain absorbed that word. But what if it was one of these guys that took her to reunite her with her other Norns? Jesus Christ. Woo! Lots to think about, eh? Lots to think about. Hang on, I've forgotten my... I haven't streamed in a month, so like I'm forgetting all my alerts and what have you. Hey, I'll plug this while I'm here. If you guys like the sound of my rambling voice, I put out a video on a brand new channel. I'm gonna plug myself here. Where I'm basically going over the entire plot of The Last of Us. So, if you guys maybe want to be interested in that, by all means, go check it out. I'll give you guys a link. I'll only plug it once. But that's basically where I've been for the last month, like working on that. So, if you guys wondering why I haven't been streaming as much. But, yeah. One of us from the past and a part of that whole white robe cult. Interesting. Very interesting. You were, Dan, you were. You definitely were. I always love the ship and potentially body hopping and how botched Xehanort was taking over in comparison. Yeah, he had a pretty hard time with it. I guess he didn't have the practice. I would love to see Lushu's like first go at it. Like, I wonder if like that slightly corrupted him, where he was like, man, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to, you know, betray these people that I'm with and steal someone's body. But like, I have to obey the Master of Masters, so I guess I'm gonna do it. Here we go. And then and then slowly just becomes like nothing to him. He's like, all right, next. God, this story has so many branches right now. So like, oh God, are these guys gonna end up in like Yozura's reality or something? Because right now in like present modern day, Sora's gone off who knows where. Kari's been dreaming for a year. Terraven and Aqua are now in the Dark Realm, searching for her. Mickey, Donald, and Goofy are in past worlds, data worlds, searching. Space Chase now. Everything on the channel is the latest. Like I'll always have the latest stuff up. It's white hair. Is she also a descendant? Oh, you think she? Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I love Nomura art, man. It's so good. This guy is like such an oddball to me, though. Like, oh, man, they're all pretty weird. But hey, new female characters in Kingdom Hearts. Seth, I can't imagine. Does anyone in this series die? I feel like something bad's gonna happen to some of them. Do you reckon any of these guys would be like the false lights that Xehanort's like rebelling against? They're like, these are the people that are gonna inherit the, you know, Scala, let's say. And Xehanort's like, enough of that. Agrino for FM7? Yeah. It reminds me of something, but I can't put my finger on what it reminds me of. That hairstyle. And that jacket with the whole, like, the fur around the outside is interesting as well. I feel like I recognize the character, but at the same time I don't. I don't know what it is. Got his hands tucked into his jacket and everything. It's almost like... Hang on. I know what it reminds me of. I know what it reminds me of. Hang on a second. Let's go. Okay, I found out the identity of this new character, by the way. It's actually Sans Undertale the entire time. Oh my god. Oh my god. We figured it out, guys. It's true, Space. Oh my god. I should have started playing Megalomania at the same time. Actually, I can. I got Spotify open. I could probably load it up. Not for you, Bruce Springsteen. Moments passed, but still. Alright, that's enough. Sora and Hermode's design seems similar. You think? Dude, Xehanort has been hitting the fucking gym. Every time they draw him, he's like more and more ripped. My god. Yeah, listen, that's exactly what I'm worried about. I was like about to start playing it, and I was like, oh, actually, maybe not. Yeah, Steph, I'm on YouTube as well. We are gonna have a bad time. Someone here's gonna have a bad time. For sure. Xehanort's gonna turn evil for some reason. This is... Okay. So... I've been working on, like... a Xehanort timeline. So I've gone through... I can probably show you guys now, actually. Now that... I'm done with exams. Yes. Okay. I'll show you guys the beginning of the script. I've basically gone through, like... all of the secret reports from, like... Kingdom Hearts 1... Birthplace, well, from all the games basically, but like taking out all the Xehanort / Ansem / Young Xehanort / Xemnas relevant stuff, and I'm trying to put together like a massive Xehanort timeline of like, okay, this is exactly what happened from here to here to here to here to here. So I want to have that guys out for you really soon, and this is like the idea is that there's going to be a gap in the middle. So. Let's have a quick read of this if you like. So, I'm basically trying to like track his entire timeline. Mainly around the secret reports of like Kingdom Hearts 1 it's like timeline of like... So... Kingdom Hearts 1 secret reports, I mean, obviously it's a mess because they wrote it and then Kingdom Hearts 2 retroactively turned it back to be like... it's the dude in the chair, younger Xehanort, because that's... Yeah, it's Xehanort and Ericus, the two we already know. Ericus and Xehanort. Kingdom Hearts 1 paints the picture of, like obviously they never had any of the rest of it in mind, but they were talking about, like, the experiments of the Heartless, like, first and foremost. And then... It was all written from the perspective as if it was Ansem the Wise writing them, but obviously then Kingdom Hearts 2 retconned that into he only wrote the first one, or the 0th one, I forget. And then it was actually Xehanort taking on his name of Ansem that wrote the rest, which didn't really make much sense. But and then Kingdom Hearts 3's reports come out, and that it's like, oh, actually, no, I wasn't really trying to experiment to find out about the Heartless. I was trying to find out about Skuld and her heart, Subject X rather than her heart. So I'm trying to like crush them all together to make them make sense. Hey, listen, for all we know, that one of these two could be Kari's grandmother, and like, why not? I mean, why not? This little one here. It's possible. Like, if they're gonna age at the same rate to become old people by the time Kingdom Hearts 1 rolls around, then they would both be of the grandparentish age by that point, right? I mean, it could be. Very well could be. Turn the music down? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, sorry, that song does peak up a bit. That Remind's ending with Mickey doing his little walk of shame at the end. That definitely picks up. Cedric Christ's grandmother continues. Oh, man. All this affordable silhouettes being revealed. Oh, shut it. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. But yeah, my point is that we know Xehanort starts off on his little island, right? And he doesn't know anything else exists outside of that. And the reports are kind of fuzzy, because the Birth by Sleep reports to me only imply that it's like that he's visited only once by his future self, by Ansem. To Mickey die. When they fixed the Google Play achievements for Kingdom Hearts Unicross. Oh, did they? I've never even paid attention to those. I think I got them all, and then I guess they never popped up again. Look of pride, absolutely. I've got to do this. Oh, that was not a good Mickey. Jesus. Let's get some water. Which one of them's evil? Which one of them first leads Xehanort down the dark path? Yeah, so I think Xehanort is approached once by Ansem, and then Ansem's like, you gotta get out of here, you gotta go. And then that's what sends the young Xehanort off on his little quest to like leave Destiny Islands. And then he makes it to Scala, I think, just by sheer force of will. Like, he obviously doesn't have his Keyblade armor at that point. He doesn't have any real means of getting there aside from just like, I'm just gonna do it, I'm just gonna get there. And then I guess he teams up with Ericus and now these guys, and has little adventures. But then something happens. He leaves there. He has the Master of Masters Keyblade, but he doesn't inherit, like, he doesn't become a teacher for further pupils. And he doesn't take over any lands. Like, Ericus obviously gets the land of departure. Someone's got to get Scala. Like, they can't just leave it, like, masterless, surely. I feel like Scala's gonna get worked, though. I feel like... I mean, it would have come up in the reports earlier, though. Right, but so... In preparation for his Micro Mastery exam, he goes off to explore the worlds written of in fairy tales. Now, whether that means that he actually... The way I initially read it is that this generation of Keyblade wielders, so they started with Brain, yeah, potentially hundreds if not thousands of years ago, and this generation is the first one that will get to actually leave Scala. Like, they've created this huge society for themselves, but they've been forbidden to leave basically because it's like, no, the world is like in ruins out there. We're not going to go, and even if we do, we're just going to cause more trouble. So let's all stay in here. But I think this generation will be the first to actually get out. Yeah, I could definitely see Yensid. Definitely see Yensid. If Disney allows the character to be used. I almost feel like maybe they don't want to use... I think we'll see a cameo for sure. But I don't know if we'll see him as like a main character. But for the reports say that we should see him, so... That's exactly it, Zenki. So yeah, Scala may end up getting bopped completely. Or they somehow won't be able to return or something. Like, the Vanity's speech in Birth by Sleep is like, other Keyblade wielders are out there, and me starting the Keyblade War will bring them all together so we can fight again. And at that point in Kingdom Hearts Saga, we've been like, what other Keyblade wielders? What are you talking about? It's like, Sora's going to be the first one as far as we can tell, and he's going to show up in 10 years' time. Young Yensid. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? If we don't go back to Nightmare Before Christmas and FF7, I quit. I don't think we're going to Nightmare Before Christmas. That's like a rights nightmare, unfortunately. Like in Union Cross, we can't get any of the medals, because even though JP can get them, the North American version very, very, very rarely gets any medals featuring those characters anymore, I guess, because maybe we don't have, like, the North American version doesn't have the rights to do it. I don't know. But I don't think we're going to see that world, unfortunately. So yeah, what I want to know is like the fallout that happens in this game. He doesn't... in my little script, I've got two options basically, because the reports aren't really clear. So I say option one, they have a falling out in Dark Road, and he leaves with the Master's Keyblade, that's right. And in his journey of self-discovery and whatever, he does it on his own. That's when he gains the knowledge about the Keyblade, and slowly his eyes become yellow, and he like becomes more in tune with the darkness. Then he comes back to Ericus looking for help to try and create the Keyblade. Which is then when we see the cutscene of Birth by Sleep where like he scars them, like they fire off the dark balls and scars Ericus. Is rejected, and then like we see in the reports, formulates the plan to steal Terra's body. Just meets up with Ven. Ven randomly appears next to him one day, and it's like, and he's like, perfect, I'll take it. And then I said, oh, again, because the reports don't make it clear. But the reports seem to say they only meet up again once. So then I'm like, okay, well then maybe they left on good terms. Ericus became a successor. But for whatever reason, Xehanort got the Keyblade. To me, the Keyblade has to always stay in the hands of the successor. Like the one that's going to stay in Scala and look over a shit ton of Keyblade wielders. But maybe Lu Shu, or whoever the current master was like, no, you're going to be the dark person. You take this Keyblade, you hang on to it, because I think it's meant for you. I feel like we're going to see Lu Shu. If we don't actually already see him right here as one of these guys, for all you know, it could be a woman. Like, we could have inhabited a female body, I guess. But I feel, if not, like, these guys are under the tutelage of a master, right? I wonder if that master is someone that we've seen before. Is intrinsically tied to the land of departure. I don't know that it is. Only because I think it is in the way that you're thinking it is, because it was literally the master defender that locked it. Where's Lu Shu? This tiny little like 4-year-old. He's like, ah yes, the perfect new vessel. I want to say the master isn't anyone we've known before. I don't think so. I know why people want to do the Sora theory, which is cool, but I don't want the universe to like shrink like that. I want the universe to like keep expanding, I guess. Oh, sorry. I have the sickness. I got the Rona. So presuming it was Lu Shu. It was one of the females. I mean, it'd be a good twist, eh? Be a good fun twist. I wonder if we're gonna see any Chirithys in this game, or if they're like all done and dusted. So I keep losing my train of thought. So like, the foretellers have now been summoned to the present, and now Sora. So are the foretellers there to like fight these guys? Like, why have they been brought back? Ericus and Xehanort are playing a new game. And there's 7 black pieces, and the 2 females. Yeah, well, it seems so. We've got the name Urd and Vor, as well as Bragi, I don't know, and Hermod. We can't directly see it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it isn't there. For all we know, it's behind. But no, it's a good point that we haven't actually seen it yet. Although it could be these little belts down here. Again, we don't know. Don't know just yet. See if Twitter's got any new ideas yet. Jesus fuck. People wanna... People like to tweet. There we go. Stefan, potentially. We don't know. This is an interesting question of like, where the heck have these guys been for the last 70 years? If they're alive, if they got also flung into the future, if they got flung into Yozora's world, or... Yeah, people love new reveals. Oh, probably because I didn't put it on Discord. Sorry, prop. I'm out of practice. It's been over like a month since I started streaming. Stashed away to fight the foretellers. These guys are in the box. Dude, we haven't even come close to solving the like Union Cross mysteries yet, and now they're gonna dump this on us. Bloody Kingdom Hearts, man. See, that's what I'm saying. I was like, she looks like a little bloody Chirithy. How old is Sora in Kingdom Hearts 3? Is he 15 or 16 by that point? I'm saying I get such era vibes off that guy. I get such era vibes. I think I tweeted that before. Okay, so right now, I mean, for all we know, that guy's Ephemer as well. But maybe he's Aqua's father. I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, I assume those characters have to have parents, so. So we don't know where. Okay, the current Kingdom Hearts mysteries. We don't know where Ephemer went. Union Cross still has to wrap up, which I guess implies that we still need to get Ven, Skald, Elrena, and Lorien from where they are into the future and leave the rest behind. We still have to get, which then leaves, like, we can assume that Skald is Subject X, but we then have to wonder what happened to Brain. My assumption has been for forever that he stays behind and forms Scala. So at least we know a little bit about that. The next story update, I think, July, August. It was meant to be in July, but it might get pushed back. Then that makes them look solid, but I don't think they're getting in the pods that we've seen. Part of me wonders if, like, there's a bunch of alternate, like, parallel Unicrosses happening or something. That's the whole thing. But, like, we haven't seen them yet, and I think they come from, like, Yozoro's alternate world. And the Keyblade War that Xemnas was referring to wasn't necessarily the Keyblade War that was fought in Key. Yuffie, tell me about it. Tell me about it. God damn, dude. I mean, I tweeted it before, but, like, her outfit is so strikingly similar to Arva's. Let's see if we can pull it up. It's my dumbass recording this off YouTube before I had the capacity to record it myself. So, like, that was a good frame. Now I've lost it. Like that little, like, split in the bottom middle part of it.
I want to follow the Master's teachings.
Bullshit. That's what annoyed me about this for so long, of, like, I'm getting so distracted. So if all could be Arva, but as a child. I mean, maybe some sort of reincarnation, like, maybe could be her daughter. Like, we don't know where Arva went. Assuming that young Xehanort was around 16 in Dark Road, Xehanort was 65 and she dies around this time, reappears 10 years later or so. Yeah, so what is it? It's 70 years from the cutscene that we saw in Remind to Kingdom Hearts 3. So yeah, he's going on his Micro Mastery exam, and then, yeah, like you said, probably about 60 years to become an old man. And then from that point onwards, yeah, it dies, like you said, and then, like, it's recombined basically a decade later.
Long day. Do you remember what you asked me before?
Look at his hair, dude.
About why the unions compete against each other instead of working together.
It's exactly like the new guys.
Actually, I always wondered the same thing.
Huh? Isn't it just because the Master said so?
Yes.
Trying
And
to find a
as
good
such,
view
we
of
must
her
obey.
that matches up with the ball.
The Master said so. So it is.
I wonder if this is the day that made her, like, decide to disobey the Master.
Lately, I've really started to wonder. You once told me that you were looking for answers.
God, now that, like, time travel is a thing in
That
the
you wanted
series,
to
like,
solve the mysteries of this world. Well,
Characters can really go
I think that's how things should be.
more or less anywhere.
We need to question things and
Ugh.
think for ourselves.
Whoa! You are really not
75
yourself
years,
today.
Okay, so 65.
I guess
years
even foretellers have
after
their off
he took
days.
took the Michael Master exam.
Hey, maybe talking about the book will cheer you up.
Might you?
Not a chance.
Aww.
You were trying to pull a fast one on me, weren't you?
Oh, no, I was joking.
If you say so. But to be honest, I think it would be great if all the unions
There's something I'm looking for. I think it's like.
could work
I'll
together
see if I can
and
find a
be
good shot here,
friends.
but if not, I'll go for that.
You know, I made a friend from another union today.
Who was that? No.
He wasn't much of a talker.
Basically,
Maybe
no
just
chance.
shy.
I mean, maybe.
We're meeting again tomorrow.
But I somehow doubt it. Like, if they want
That
to pay
sounds like so much
voice
fun.
actors,
Then
I can't
we'd better go
imagine.
home and get some sleep.
Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you. I don't know what's got you down. But please cheer up.
Thank you.
That was you, was it? Okay. I'm sure it was me. My video, you know, this video I watched online, the guy was called Damien, so
Let
like,
the-
I don't know. Could be anyone. Where is the cutscene where Ava's like chitting and chatting or something? This one could have
There's no time to lose.
what we're after. Poor Sid, dude. He fended off 3.5 4 dollars. It's pretty good. Yeah, that might have been it.
There's no time to lose.
Yeah, kinda. So it's got that same like the golden whatever's across. I thought she had the same white split in the coat as well. Maybe not. Maybe you could growl them. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Don't you?
There we go. So the colors are inverted. Yeah, that's yeah. So the colors are inverted, but it's got that similar aesthetic to it. That's a bit of a shot. I don't know if you like. She was always so dedicated, like, because he sees like he's technically been hunted by Ira, even though we don't actually get to see it. But like in direct combat, he faces off against Derek, and is still on his feet. Oh yeah, big time. I wonder like how far in advance he comes up with this stuff. Like, if he just buys himself enough time to be like, alright, we'll make one game, and that'll buy us room for the next game. Maybe a game and a half, and then he sort of has to come in and fill in the blanks. Like, I don't know. Feeling this Brad guy is Luciu. I could see it. I feel like one of the we have to see Luciu at some point. I do wonder though if Luciu didn't have a hand in being like the leader of Scala at one point. Just like what? It's like why the hell not? Fuck it. I'll give it a crack. I'll just take over the person's body. And I just want to know what happens to the vessels after he's done with them. Like, does he literally get to the end of their natural life and then be like, alright, this body's gonna die in 3, 2, send the heart away, 1, and then the person finally is themselves again for 1 second, and then blah, croaks. It's pretty nuts. But I love that going on from now on, right? Like, anyone we see could be Luciu. I think they'll keep that real close to the chest, and then can you imagine if like like Ericus or Xehanort was all this shit though. The big twist. They're gonna plant the seeds. There'll be like a cutscene really early on where like we meet all our 4 friends and we get along with them so well, la 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 la, and then each one of them will have like a little sneaky little like we'll walk into the room and see them chatting and be like, oh nothing, I wasn't saying anything. Hey, what are you doing? Did you do your mission today? Did you beat all this Heartless today? And like they'll try and like throw suspicion on each of us, on each of our little new friends here first. Yeah, man. Each one will have a dark secret. I can see it. Even the little baby one there. Could definitely see it. How you guys coping with the virus? So I'm in Perth, Western Australia, and I think we've gotten extraordinarily lucky being one of the most isolated cities in the world, to the point where like we've been tracking our like a number of active new cases every day, and we're luckily very much on top of it. So. I play social sport, and it's opening up again today, so get to play sport again for the first time in a couple months. But yeah, hopefully, I really hope you guys are doing alright. Staying safe out there. Very smart. Why not? I mean, it kind of worked the first time. What if the player is their master? Oh, you mean Union Cross player? I mean, we have to end up somewhere further in the story as well, right? Like we can't just. I guess we could go with Braig, and like form Scala, and then just sort of live out our natural life as one of the originators. Like one of these kids, for all we know, could be our descendant. Like a character, theoretically, had a kid, if not multiple kids, and like started the lineage that. Is it in theory like in theory it literally is all the dandelions that are gonna become like the people that build Scala from the rubble, right? Like I feel like we're gonna go back to the real Daybreak Town and find it like frozen in time. At the exact moment, like, the world was destroyed, if you will. And then we'll literally start building Scala on top from the wreckage. Like, we have 5 party members. We barely see them, but we have 5 party members with us, like Mog and the captain. God, it really annoys me that we never have, like, names for our characters. I may as well load it up on Unicross now, actually. It's actually good timing. Ooh, I wonder why they brought this event back. Ooh, hang on a minute, actually. Alright, so for you guys that don't play Union Cross, they brought out an event today that's been out... I don't know if it's been out in JP before, but it was certainly in Kingdom Hearts Key, but it had never come to the to Union Cross Global, at least. They're the ones that form Scala. I'm pretty sure. I wonder if all these people will be playable. Yeah, I wonder if, like, you'll have, like, different archetypal event... Sorry, my brain is so fried. I haven't slept in, like, in a minute. I wonder if you have, like, different archetypal classes, and so you pick, like, maybe Xehanort and Ericus are kind of similar-ish characters, but then you have, like, a more, like, you know, mage-style character, or, like, a, you know, your assassin, your Dragoon, and the kind of, like, classic Final Fantasy archetype builds of decks. Yeah, I haven't pulled in a minute. I haven't really not pulled in a long time. I could do pulls for you guys, honestly. It's been a hot minute since I've done any pulls. Maybe not. Maybe it's been, I don't know what the point is to Axel is. I think it's pretty silly. So let's go to that story event real quick. Show you guys what I'm talking about. Yeah, launch them, exactly. So I wonder if when you, like, start playing, it's like... Nah. It'd be cool if it was, but maybe not. I don't know if you're only ever playing as Xehanort, and then you might have other party members with you. That's kind of what I think is going to happen. I don't necessarily know if you get to actually play as other characters, but I mean, it'd be cool if you did. I'm not getting my hopes up just yet. It'd be very cool if you did, though. It'd be very, very cool if you did. Okay, the new event. Did I beat that? Oh, I guess I gave up at round 8. I was sure I beat that. Okay. So this event has come out, I think, twice before it's been out. Dan's a ninja. Yeah, we were just saying that before. Like, it's possible, right? Like, if in the same span of time he will grow into a bald old man, in the same amount of time, why couldn't she grow into Kari's grandmother? Like, I think she is the best possible candidate for someone that could be Kari's grandmother. In Darkroad, you get to fight Sephiroth. I don't know. I feel like with Key they didn't really. I don't know how much of a story they had. Like, they might have just had the building blocks of like, okay, we just want to tell the story of the Keyblade War. A bunch of kids got together and fought over it. And then they started like branching off, like, oh, what if this? What if that? What if that? What if Ventus was actually from here and he traveled into the future somehow? And blah 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 blah. And what if the Master of Masters blah 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 blah. It's the kind of thing where you don't get specific. Like you create these 6, 7 dudes in masks and with obscured faces. And you're like, oh yeah, there's a master, and then 5 masters, and then a secret master. And kids collect light. Okay, go. And then like you buy yourself so much time to then fill in the blanks as a writer, and you're like, ah, oh, that could be cool, that could be cool, that could be cool. Because I feel like the story of Key changed so much over the course of like between Key and Union Cross especially. Like, sorry, Key to Unchained Key to Union Cross especially. Like it was all about dreams initially when it first came out. Like the dream eaters of this, dream eaters of that. When our character dreams, Ephema can contact him or her. Ava's all about it. Ava's like, we're going to escape to the world of dreams. So, like, I'm sure that was the initial plot of the game. It was like, when the war happens, we'll go into a dream world. But that got radically different. Like, now we're in data worlds and blah 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 blah. Like, a weird, like, the zombie version of Wreck-It Ralph's world has like forced itself into the data world that is the data Daybreak Town. Different to the dream Daybreak Town. It's the whole thing. So like, I guess it always keeps you on your toes as a viewer. Like, you can't ever be positive that like, oh yeah, I know where the story's going, because you don't ever, because Nomura's always like changing his mind. I don't know. It's fun to try and put the pieces together, but you never ever can really get your hopes up, I guess, because it's always gonna go to different places. At least Daybreak says Scala. I feel like we've got a lot of the pieces. I feel like when you see it underwater, you see the clock tower frozen in a moment in time. Mitch, potentially, yeah, like, I think I tweeted out that I get really big era vibes off this guy. Ava vibes off there. Potentially indie vibes, and I don't know. I don't really get either kind of a Setish vibes, but I don't. Yeah, not really. I don't know which vibes I get from this guy, apart from Sans, of course. Assassin, Calculator, and Hothead. I don't know about villains. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I get Lee vibes for sure. Mitch, that's what I'm here for, man. Like, it's a genuine, like, the game is designed to get you hooked into it and then make you pressure into like, you know, doing microtransactions or whatever. So if I can I guess, provide an outlet to the story of this game without letting you be sucked into that whole... I didn't finish this event. Oh, that's right. Without being sucked into the entire, like, you know, microtransaction riddled crap that goes along with it, then I'm happy to do it. Then of course, story-wise, on a game he didn't even care to make. Or did we all forget the tenuate Kingdom Hearts story? No? One of them could be Darkness. Yeah. Maybe? I feel like... I mean, yes, you're probably right. Again, the more we learn about it, the more it's like, I guess... I don't know. I feel like Darkness, when we first learned about them, was like in... almost like in a hibernation within Ven. Over all that time. But you're probably right. It'll probably be like, oh, Darkness is in this timeline, whatever. I really wonder if they're going to be like, yeah, Darkness is literally responsible for Xehanort. Xehanort was not going to go down the dark road, and then Darkness infected him. And then, sure enough, now he's, you know, yellow eyes, blah, 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 blah. No, Shadow Viper, more than happy to. More than happy to do it. Yeah, Dan the Ninja, yeah. I wonder. Like I said, I wonder if maybe we'll see him for a bit. I don't know how much, like, leeway they have to use those characters, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'll be all for it. Like, at that point, would you need Disney's permission to make, like, a young Yan Sid? Like, Mickey, Donald, Goofy, we've seen them 10 years earlier. Even Yan Sid we saw 10 years earlier. And their appearance didn't really change at all from what we... like, the classic as we know them. But if you're going back, like, 60, 70 years, you can't really have... like... the still old Yan Sid as a character. So at that point, you're like modifying a Disney character more than just like the clothes they're wearing. So I wonder if, to me, like Disney's like not super cool with that. I don't know why, unless like they're the ones that literally do the character design. I don't know. So I just tell them the trigger. But those are like still Disney designed characters though, right? Like they're still from those classic cartoons. The guy with the hat leaving that we see now, we never see his face, but he's just got a big pokey hat on and he walks out the door. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if Darkness is like a person, but it seems to take the shape of a person, at least, like its silhouette. Are any of these related to Demix or Luxor? I don't know. Who knows, right? Maybe. Yeah. I think I'm using the Trident because... oh, right, because I got the... I'm trying to find enemies on that, Stitch quest, whatever it is. Yeah, this one. Oh, there's so much to do in this bloody game. Yeah, if anyone in my party's here, I can raid with you guys tomorrow. Last exam finished today, all done and dusted, so... be able to raid with you guys for 6 out of the 7 days. Should be. I do want to get back to streaming really badly, so maybe not. Doesn't Yan Sid live in his tower that's in a different plane, so a different time? I don't know about different time, but it moves around a lot, right? Yan Sid lives here. That's alright, Donald. You've only been here 100 times. Yeah, Zankies, that's... I'm wondering if it's like a whole like cohort of Keyblade wielders. and these are, like we're just gonna focus in on 5 of a larger group, and there'll be a reference to like, oh, this one guy's really good at magic, not so great at the Keyblade itself, but really good at magic. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, Naeem, I don't know how to say your name. I think you're on the right track. I think you are 100% on the right track. That's the whole quote about this might be what finally ends it. I think that's like the sacrifice that he made. He sacrificed the current realm of light to like let... Okay. We're gonna get into it now. I've been trying to put this into a video, but I don't quite know how to get it to the level that I want it to be at, I guess. Like the level of script isn't there just yet. The Master of Masters has been at war with darkness for basically his entire life, right? Light and darkness are always clashing. None can seem to get the upper hand on one another. But then you have a guy that somehow has a book that can tell him all about the future. So wouldn't that be the ultimate tool to get one up on the darkness? If you could know everything that was going to happen, wouldn't that be the ultimate tool to be like, okay, I can finally defeat the darkness. I know everything that's going to happen. I think... I wonder if there are now literally different divergent timelines in Kingdom Hearts, right? Okay, so let's say the Master of Masters gives Lucio the Keyblade and says, okay, take this Keyblade with my eye in it, off you go, I'm gonna sit here, and through this temporal link with that Keyblade, I'm gonna start writing this book. And everything that you see for the next however many millions of years, I'm gonna put it in the book. You can't read the book because that would be a paradox. If you saw what was in it, it would influence what you do. Although Lucio does seem to have some knowledge of it, but let's put that aside for now. I'm gonna sit here and keep writing the book. So I think we see that once. I think we see when Gula or Envy walks into the room, and the Master of Masters is sitting there going oh, I see. I think he's literally looking through his own eye into the future at the same time, and is literally learning. But at that point, he's already given out the book, so it's kind of weird. Maybe it's not. Okay, anyway. But I think the initial timeline that happened, in which... See, I'm melding my point here. Lucio goes forward, right? And he sees that Strelitzia is given the book by Ava. He sees that the 5 foretellers, right? So Strelitzia, Laurium, Ven, sorry, not Ven, no, everyone except Ven, Ephema, Skald, and Brain are the 5 union leaders, right? So that all goes in the book. Everything that happens, that all goes into the book, right? And then, and whoever's circled in red is the one that gets the Book of Prophecies, right? Which I think is Strelitzia. I think it's Strelitzia, right? So that timeline happened. Lucio saw that timeline happened, and then, but now there's a physical proof of that's going to happen in the book. So the book now says, this is what's going to happen, right? What if Darkness saw that copy of the book and was like, oh, that's what's going to happen. Cool. I now know with certainty that Strelitzia is going to be the one that gets the book. So I'm going to take her out, put my own mole in there instead, and now there's going to be a new timeline in which, obviously, Darkness is now has the copy of the Book of Prophecies, in their hands, basically. But in doing so, I guess Ava may have already known what was going to happen, and she decided to change fate. So Master Masters gave Ava the list based on what the Book of Prophecy said. And it said, there's going to be these 5 union leaders, and I want you to give the Book of Prophecies to one of them. And Ava herself defied fate. I actually wrote this out. I've been planning this for a long time. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. So whenever I get ideas, I sketch them on a whiteboard. So here's my Kingdom Hearts timeline one. So that initial timeline, okay, so that line that starts at the top there, number 1. That's the initial timeline if nothing ever got affected, right? That branching path that's the second one down, that's what would happen if darkness got their way. There would be a timeline in which darkness had the Book of Prophecies and had assassinated Strelitzia, and Ven was in control. Except, whoopsies, Ava actually interfered before they got a chance. So darkness tried to alter the past, tried to alter the future, I suppose, here, without realizing that Ava had already altered the future here. So what they actually did was they made a third... Sorry. Ava was intending to make a timeline in which the only change from the initial timeline was that the brain got the book instead of Strelitzia. But by both of them interfering from the original, they actually created the fourth timeline, which is what we're on now, in which Ven is the one that holds that took Strelitzia's place, but darkness doesn't have the book. And because darkness goes to Maleficent says to darkness, she's like, "Wait, you know what's in the book?" And darkness is like, "Well, not everything." So to me, that implies that darkness at least got a glimpse of the Book of Prophecies, and was like, "Okay, I'm going to base my actions based on what I saw in there." And when they say not everything, they're being like, I mean, I thought I did, but I guess I don't, because I don't have the Book of Prophecies right now. So obviously something was wrong. Something was wrong with what I read. And yeah, so we've created 4 timelines, and then yeah, like you're saying, zoop, split forward to, I think there is a Book of Prophecies that says Xehanort versus Sora and the gang at the Keyblade Graveyard. 13 darknesses, 7 lights. Darkness wins. Light expires, darkness prevails. And then Xehanort is basing his actions on that timeline. It's like everything that's going to happen. Like Terranort outright says it. Terranort outright says, "You're going to die. The Keyblade will still be forged, don't worry, but you are all about to die right now." So he knows that Sora's about to rewind time. That's all written. That's all part of this Book of Prophecies, right? But then Sora goes back again, and then makes a separate timeline. So I think there's like 3 or 4 timelines from that initial split point in Kingdom Hearts 3 as well. Oh, it's just a mess, dude. So yeah, I'm trying to put that into like cohesive form and make that into a video. I've been like, again, it's been on the back burner because of like, well, The Last of Us got a release date, Last of Us 2, so I was like, okay, we'll make that video first. Oh yeah, then now Dark Road's coming out, so like I want to do a Dark Road video, and I want to do this like wacky world of Kingdom Hearts timelines video. So that's all going to come together and hopefully be out at some point. At some point. But yeah, I think there literally are different timelines in Kingdom Hearts now. But I don't know. It's weird. Because I think only one can really ever truly exist. The only one that can exist is the one that actually happens. I don't know. Because, like, it... Like, in the timeline in which Sora hasn't jumped backward in time, like, Terranort kills half the cast, and then, like, the Dark Inferno, the Demon Tower takes care of the rest. What does Terranort do after that point? Like he didn't go back. I mean, he did, but like, no one else is going back in time. Like, if everyone else keeps existing from that point, all the Guardians of Light are dead, right? Presumably, they split up their 7 different, beams of light, and the Keyblade was forged, right? Like, why wouldn't it be? You've got the 13 darknesses, and you have your 7 lights have been defeated. So, in that timeline, why wouldn't the Keyblade be forged? Just because Sora was a cheeky boy and went back to change things. Like, I don't know, it's a mess. Because he didn't, okay, yeah. The point is that he didn't prevent that timeline from existing at all. Because because in Remind we jump back to that original timeline. We don't go back to after we've already fixed it. We go back initially to the first part, before the fix, because we have to get killed again to get into that second timeline. What I'm getting at is that, like, our actions didn't erase the first timeline from existence. So it's a whole thing, dude. Yeah, so that's gonna be a video at some point if I can ever get the script out. But again, if you can imagine, the script is kind of difficult to get out. I don't know why I do these things to myself, but yeah, I think that's what I tweeted out like forever. Oh yeah. So looping back. I think this is how the Master of Masters is trying to get one over on Darkness. If it's like, if Darkness thinks, oh yeah, I'm gonna ruin the Master's plans, I'm gonna take his Book of Prophecies, and then I'm gonna be the one that wins. Like, it's this and always this arms race, right? Like, the light seems to be beating the dark, and then Darkness will come back with an even, you know, oh, now we can take the form of humans and trick them, and, you know, now we have the upper hands, and oh, now we've developed a stronger weapon that can banish. I'm making this up, but like, now we can banish the darkness from people's hearts, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, well maybe we can hide it even deeper and corrupt them to the core and make dark beings and blah blah blah. Maybe, you know, now we can make Heartless, blah 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 blah. This like eternal arms race of like one-upsmanship on each other. And I wonder if the Master of Masters is like, okay, you win. The realm of light was destroyed. Whoops, you got me. With the idea that, I don't know, maybe like it would have taken out darkness at the same time, but those little fragments of light would have hopped over to the next world, and then they would have survived. I don't know. It's a mess. But yeah, I think the Master of Masters is like ultimately doing good, or at least fighting on the side of light, but just going in ridiculous means of doing it. Like, oh yeah. So if the Master of Masters insists that the Keyblade will end up in the hands of, that his Keyblade will end up in the hands of a wielder so obsessed with darkness that they'll end up restarting the Keyblade War, then if darkness ever reappears in the realm of light, that's where they'll be centered around, right? Like they'll be centered around whoever has this Keyblade, whoever has this Keyblade. So what a perfect way of finding out what darkness will be up to, right? Like, you give the Keyblade down forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But eventually you'll find the person that's in possession of it that starts the Keyblade War again. And so you know where darkness will be 1,000 years from now. I don't know. Like, it didn't. Like, the Master Master still let it happen, so I don't really know what the point was. But like, I feel like that's the Master's plan. Like, use this future-telling nonsense. Try and snuff out darkness once and for all when they eventually return. I don't know. I don't know. Again, I think we're still like years away from the resolution of this story. As crazy as it is. Temetally, yeah. That like, if no one interfered, this is what would happen. It's paradoxical in itself though. Like, the fact that people know the future means they're gonna try and act on it and change it. I mean, in most cases, I think that's what Era was trying to do, but then ended up making him do nothing. Master Masters know darkness is an old friend who got corrupted or something. I mean, maybe if they are literally taking a human form. For some reason, I don't think they're always in a humanoid form. I think it like literally is like the embodiment of darkness. And whether that means there is an embodiment of light that is their counter, I don't know. But goddamn, look at this, we can get some jewels now, boy. Bang, 73k, woo! Bruh. What's said is gonna lose his mind. Yeah, so I'm glad I got to talk about this with you guys, because my brain's just mush whenever I think about it. I'm almost like, alright, this is going to be the day we write the script, and then I get like halfway in and I'm like, scrap it off. Scrap it off. I think there's always going to be a new story to tell. So we might get this one resolved semi-soonish, maybe. I don't know. I feel like the conclusion of the Master of Monsters arc is like years away. Literally saw the war, but there was no Keyblade. Yeah, well, this is the thing. This is the other thing. My initial thought from forever ago was that what we're seeing right now, this is not the real world. This has always been a dream world. Always been a dream world, which is why we have Chirithys running around. And then Unchained / Unicross was the second layer of dream, which is why we have a little pet as well as our Chirithy. We have 2 Dream Eaters because we've gone 2 dreams in. The original OG Keyblade War happened in the real world, and as the real world split apart and fell to darkness, it became a sleeping world, which is where all these guys ended up. And so they're like, in the same way that the world dreams about its demise, it's you, exactly, that was you. That's why we kept seeing the Keyblade War happening over and over again. But like, I don't know, I feel like that may have been the story at one point, but now we're just off in like goddamn data worlds and all kinds of crap, so we're not there anymore. Not there anymore. When's the next update? Okay, we're getting a story update on the 11th, but it's not going to be important. It's just going to be, I mean, you never know, we might get to see something cool, but I don't think we're seeing anything important in JP. Global's still 4 months behind, so we're probably, is it important? I can't remember if what we're seeing is going to be important next month. Might be one more important one. Look, Sword, we don't know right now. We don't know right now. There are Dream Eaters running around, which in my mind used to mean it's a dream world, but I guess that this isn't necessarily true anymore because we've seen Chirithys running around in Kingdom Hearts 3 in the real world, so I don't know. Like I said, I was positive, and I'm sure that's what they were going for, that the initial reveal that Chirithy was a Dream Eater was meant to be like a, oh, holy shit moment. It was meant to be like, oh, it's a Dream Eater. Therefore, this whole thing's a dream. Like, it was meant to be, I thought, pretty obvious. Like, that was the point of the reveal. Dude, Desprix, I know. I'm so ready for it, dude. I'm so ready for it. I wanted to raid with you guys today, but then this whole kerfuffle started. Oh, Jesus. Alright, I'm about to pass out. Sorry, guys, I haven't slept in like in a minute now. I might leave you guys with that. I might make a quick video just kind of going over what we know about it so far. But yeah, so Norse mythology ties into Skald. Maybe there's a third. These characters may be initially friendly to, but eventually antagonistic to Xehanort, leading him down the dark road. Maybe something bad happens to him. Who knows? I might do a quick just like summary video of what we know so far, and then do a deep dive. Soon. I want to wrap up like so many things into one video, but just like there's so much, dude. There's so much. Alright, I'll do one raid boss and then we'll call it quits. Hang on to the theory that at least 2 of the other 4 of you are going to end up being Yen Sid and the Fairy Godmother. Forgive me if someone else already mentioned that in chat. I don't think anyone mentioned that. That's kind of cool. Create a master system. What do we already know about it? Master system. Oh, like his disciples will become masters themselves, you mean? Or I think like in hindsight, 1 was by far and away the least complicated. Like, it just, when you die, when your heart gets taken by a Heartless, it becomes a Heartless as well, and your body disappears. That's about it. Yeah, I'll get right up in their faces, man, for sure. For sure. Oh, Jesus. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for being here. It's good fun streaming again. I'm gonna keep streaming, so yeah, if you guys are on YouTube, maybe follow me on Twitch, because I try not to spam this channel with like too much non-Kingdom Hearts stuff. So yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitch, that'd be kind of sick. Let me get the old code there for you. And if my alert box has popped up and if I wasn't such a dummy, Oh, Riku, dude. Yeah, it's obscene right now. How much like Lux is flying around. But yeah, if you want to follow me over there, I really appreciate it. Yes, it was a Keyblade Master and Fairy Godmother. That's a wheel. I'm with Riku at the end of Pagina Pleasure. Nice. Yeah, we don't know who she's referring to. We don't know. Yeah, I mean, it could be Skull. Like the other one, potentially. Could be Strelitzia, could be, you know, Stella, could be so many people. My final was in particle mechanics. That's the simple way of saying it. That's the simple way. Alright, I'm gonna plug this video real quick. I just can't find a bloody link to it now. Hit me, Liffy, hit me. Yeah. This one I make most of them private, but I won't make this one private. Yeah, I'll leave this one up. It's great fun, Rack. It really is great fun. Yuffie, I sure am on Twitch. You better believe it, buddy. Okay, this should be linked in the video. If you guys like want to do like just do something for me, just for fun, if you guys could check this video out, it's long, so be aware it's like 40 minutes. But if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be friggin' amazing. It'd be absolutely friggin' amazing. But yeah, I won't bore you guys anymore. I'll see you guys real soon. See you guys off really soon. All right, all the best, guys. I'm running out of bed. Take care, guys.